Now we're gonna move along to the third band. This is like a bra strap band. And yes, they do have these in wigs. To me personally, I don't know why, but the elasticity holds for a very long time. And I think these to me are the best ones, to be honest with you. Whenever we place it, we want to make sure there's no hair behind it. So we don't want to sew on the track or the hair. And here's a tip that I use. So it might unravel right there a little bit sometimes. I've seen it before. So you can get a lighter and then just gently go across the ends. It's
forever gang, I'm never switching over. Made a lane and niggas can't get over. I can't mess with rappers, they be bogus. Rather get the pack and keep it open. Big dripper stand up in the ocean. Everybody trapping, we get lost. He ain't 4P.
How to add an elastic band for a glueless wig. Closure Wig Edition. So before we begin, I would like to show you 4 different types of bands that's normally in the wig industry. So this first band, it's a really soft band. It's about maybe 2 inches wide. It's very soft and comfortable, so that is a pro about it. The only con for me is you will have to actually measure it upon the client's head. And then also, as far as the elasticity may begin to wear out a little bit sooner. So moving on to the second band, this band is super sturdy. It might be a bit too sturdy for me, so that would be a con. Some people may like it like this. It's about 1 inch wide, and again, for this one as a con, you would have to actually measure it against the client's head to know how much to cut. Now we're gonna move along to the third band. This is like a bra strap band. And yes, they do have these in wigs. To me personally, I don't know why, but I guess a pro would be is you can adjust the straps, the hooks on it to fit the client's head, so you really don't have to measure it on their head. But one big con for me is because of the hooks, I wouldn't want that snagging the hair. Now for this last band, these are the ones that I use. It's an adjustable band and you can actually unhook it in the middle. Now for these, they're about 1.5 inches wide, and the elasticity holds for a very long time. And I think these to me are the best ones, to be honest with you. You can adjust them, like I said, so you don't have to actually measure it against the client's head to know how much to cut. So we are going to be using this custom closure wig to demonstrate how to add the band. So here for the closure wig, you can see the track. So I'm counting down to probably like the 3rd or 4th track. That's the 4th track. So if I go down 4 tracks on that side, I want to make sure it's the same on the other side, so you can make sure the band is even. So once we go down, I'm going to put a little dot or a circle just to make sure I don't lose my placement whenever I put it under the sewing machine. So one important tip, make sure the band is on the right side, like upward, because you would hate to do it and it's on the wrong side. I've done that a few times before. Whenever we place it, we want to make sure there's no hair behind it. So we don't want to sew on the track or the hair. We want to sew in the space in between. Another tip is don't go all the way to the very end of the cap like that. Make sure you leave maybe a 4th space in between. And this is so the band won't rub against the top of the ear. Make sure your pattern is on straight stitch. Make sure your length is on 4. Now once we begin, you want to make sure you back stitch And this is a heavy duty Singer sewing machine, so the back stitch button is right there in the front. You can back stitch maybe about 3 times. So you want to make sure you cut the excessive thread out from up underneath it and also on the other side of the cap. Now you can cut the extra piece of band off on each side, and here's a tip that I use. So it might unravel right there a little bit sometimes. I've seen it before. So you can get a lighter and then just gently go across the ends. It's not gonna be hard, I promise you. It's gonna be like the right texture that's still gonna be comfortable, and it's not gonna unravel. And make sure you get the extra pieces, because you don't want that to happen right there where it like catch a little flame. So just make sure you get those little pieces, but that's the parts why I said it'll start to unravel. But this is just a little tip. So there we have it. The band is nicely secured and sewn in the inside evenly across, and the client can adjust the band to their liking. They can unhook it if they want to, and it's a go. Also, you can do the same technique on a pre-made wig. The only difference is the spaces in between the tracks are a bit smaller, but it still can work because I've done it a few times. These bands can also be found on my website, and I'm thinking about just selling the vendor instead of selling the bands. That you can get them in like singles, or you can get them in bundles.
For the flight, nigga can't even see me on way out of here. I'm too far in the sky. Hermes ash for the dawn, my ash. Bitch so pretty, look better than